Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you guys doing? It's been such a long time. Anyways, in this video, I'm going to be speaking about something very important because I don't want you to get to Brazil and be stranded or come to Brazil and wonder what other people are doing. What are these other Africans doing that seems like I'm not doing or that you're not doing? And what are they doing exactly to earn a living? So I'm going to show you steps on how you can apply for a job here in Brazil. Do not tune out. Kindly watch it to the end because this video is very educative and very important for you to watch if you plan to relocate to Brazil. I'm sorry I keep looking down. I'm looking if my microphone is on or not because I've made this video almost 5 times now. Anyways, guys, my name is Ura once again, and I'm your host on this channel as usual. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to share. So let's get right into this video, guys. I'm going to be very direct in this video. There's no joke. There's no anything. So let's get right into it. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. As we all know, Brazil is home to a thriving agriculture industry, being the world's largest producer of tropical fruits and sugarcane and world-leading coffee producers for more than a century, as well as agriculture. Brazilian industrial sector, which produces aircraft, cars, computers, and the rest, has been thriving in recent years. The country has also been like a financial powerful banking industry with a strong national currency, the Brazilian real, and is also one of the leading producers of hydroelectrical power. Despite this, finding a way into the job market will be difficult as a foreigner, as majority of the Brazilian companies they follow this principle of proportionality, where the third of all vacancies must be filled by Brazilian citizens. So they prioritize their citizens even before you as a foreigner, and it will be tough to get a job. But what do you do? In this video, I'll be breaking it down. Features of employment in Brazil. The first thing a potential immigrant worker needs to consider when looking for a job in Brazil is the difficulty of getting or finding a unskilled labor. So such applicants they are bound amongst Brazilians as well as among citizens of all Latin Americans. The next special attention should be paid into your language skills. The official language in Brazil, as we all know, is Portuguese. So in some companies, especially international ones, a good command of English is very sufficient. So to move to Brazil for employment, a foreigner, you will need to draw up 3 basic documents. Your employment contract with a Brazilian employer, your work permit, which is also called autorização do trabalho in Portuguese. And the third thing you will need to do is get a work visa called visita or vista. The visa and requirement for working in Brazil. If you enter Brazil on a normal tourist visa, trust me, you are not allowed to work, to seek any paid employment. It's not that people are not doing it, but if you are caught or you overstay your visa, you will be fined and not allowed to come back in the country for up to 6 months. I'm sure you don't want that. So to work in Brazil legally, you will need to get a visa. And this visa, you must have applied for it by your employer in Brazil here. If you are accepted and the visa, it will allow you to work in Brazil for up to 2 years. After this time, if you want to stay, you can apply for permanent residency status. If you're already working in a profession that have a degree level education, you're more likely to get a work visa. So if you want to get a job from Brazil, I advise you start to search for it from outside of Brazil, even before you get here. So people work illegally. Don't quote me wrongly. People are here that work illegally, but you don't have their luck. You might get caught. You might get reported by a fellow co-worker, and that is deportation. You're going back to your country, and you won't be allowed to enter Brazil for 6 months or even more. I'm sure you don't want that. So if you want to get a job in Brazil, you don't want to study, you come here to just work and sponsor your family, I suggest that you search for jobs right from your home country before you even plan of traveling. Let's talk about salary and tax. The local currency of Brazil is real. Real, like real in English. The wages in Brazil, they really depend on the role of the companies, on your role and the company. The wages can be low compared to USA, UK, Canada, and the tax is quite high. Brazil is starting from 7.5. It's very high. With top level, if you are a manager and all those things, you'll be paying tax of 27.5%. If you're a foreigner, you'll be paying higher than 27.5 on income in Brazil. So get ready. You might get paid well, but you will pay tax. Brazil and tax, they are like this. They tax you on everything. So be ready to pay tax. And now let's talk about where to find employment. These are some of the best resources to use if you'd like to get a job in Brazil as a foreigner. There are websites that you can use to connect with your employers. You can network and meet new business contacts through their newspapers, through recruitment agencies, through the internet, Facebook, and website like Kato. Kato is on my screen. Search for it. They have jobs for foreigners there. You can search around locally if you're already in Brazil. Go to their office physically. Apply. You can work freelance via internet. The best recruitment websites in Brazil for foreigners, as I have said earlier, Cato, Catho, is one of the most popular sites. Job sites, Empregos, Guia do Empresao, Yahoo Empresagos or Empregos Brazil. I'm sorry for my Portuguese. Some of the local newspapers with jobs listing. Number one, we have a Tribuna. Number two, we have Classificado Diário do Grange. Number three, we have ABC. Number four, we have Gazeta Online or Gazeta Online. All these things are going to be in my description or in the description of this video or on my screen. I'd rather put it on the description of the video because I want to put link there because I want this video to be very hot. You need to get that. Since 2023, we are getting jobs. We're getting jobs. Here are some of the best places to work in Brazil. Most people will choose to work in Sao Paulo, in Rio, which are most well-known cities in Brazil. But generally, it is more difficult to gain employment outside Sao Paulo and Rio. Please note that the cost of living in Sao Paulo and Rio is like this: high. You need enough money to cover your duration of stay. In Sao Paulo, it's a huge city. I'm sure everybody knows that already. The population is over 10 million people. That is Brazilian most important economic city in the entire country and also extends to Latin America. Sao Paulo has lots of multinational companies located in various corners and usually receive more investment projects than any other city in Latin America, not just in Brazil, Latin America. The largest stock exchange in Latin America and the southern hemisphere is located in Sao Paulo. And there are various different jobs for foreigners, including international technology and innovation companies. Now let's go to Rio de Janeiro. I'm just going to be speaking about these two states because they are the most popular. Rio is like the most famous city in the world or one of the most famous in the world. And you usually find one destination, like a destination where people work or where they want to work. It has various different jobs, for foreigners too, but it's not like Sao Paulo where there are many multinational jobs. Other places that you should consider working: Salvador, Florianopolis, Natal, Maceió, Olinda, Recife, Belo Horizonte, Porto Alegre, Brasília, Fortaleza, Curitiba, Campinas, Manaus, Vale do Vale do Paraíba is going to be on my description. I think Vale do Paraíba. I shall know is in the north. You can try those places too. It doesn't have to be Sao Paulo and Rio. These two places, this list of places I just listed now, you can start to search for jobs that foreigners can do, that you can get employed into or get an employment letter from an employer that will sponsor you and make your visa application smooth and direct from whatever country you're coming from. Now people always wonder that shebi in UK, in US, people will say they have 3 jobs. How come Brazil there's no job? It's a third world country. My dear, the truth is that the jobs that people go to, Africans in particular, go to, maybe cleaning job, hospital caregiver, these jobs are not bad. So far they pay your bills. They are not, there's not even bad job. If you are getting a bill from something, it's a job and it's a savior. Do you get me? So if you asking that, why is there no care job in Brazil? Why is there no restaurant, bar girl, all those things, bar boys, all those cleaner, washing plates people? The problem is that these unskilled labors are already for Brazilians. In other countries like UK, US, they are left for foreigners. Like there are spaces for foreigners to go into this place. That's why you say that this one went from Nigeria, he's washing plates in restaurants. It's not a bad job. It's an opening space and he has gone there to work. Unlike here in Brazil, it's Brazilians that are sweeping. They are the ones washing plates. They are the ones sewing. They are the ones doing everything. So it's going to be difficult for a foreigner to come and say, I want to get the job here in Brazil. They prioritize their citizens before a foreigner. So if you as a foreigner want to come and take the job from them, or more, you have to be very skilled. I will keep saying you have to be very skilled and have a little knowledge on the language. Brazil doesn't care if you have first class. They don't care if you have PhD. When I tell them I have MBA, they well, okay. It's not a big deal. It's not a they don't see it as a big deal. Do you understand? So you still have to do something else that will make them see that, oh, this person is worth employing. This person has an experience in this thing. Oh, this person has done this thing before. Let me employ them. I hope you understand, guys. I hope you understand. I have a passion burning inside me. Summer jobs, teaching jobs, and internships. These are the three main categories of jobs that a foreigner can easily get here in Brazil. For teaching jobs, due to the competitive job market, one of the easiest way for a foreign applicant to get a job in Brazil is through teaching English. The highest demands for teachers is found in cities like Rio and in Sao Paulo. Your earnings might vary based on your location and whether you're teaching at a school or a university, or even if you're offering a private tuition. It really depends on any of these things you're doing. You will also be charged a higher rate if you teach a niche of subject, such as medical or legal English. So if you're not teaching general English, you might still be able to get rates higher than the regular people that teach normal English. To teach in Brazil, you must meet the following criteria and have like almost 2 years teaching experience at the appropriate level. You will need a bachelor's degree in a relevant area of focus. You will need a teaching English as a foreign language certificate. The one I was speaking about in the live, I think yesterday. It's called TEFL, Teaching English as a Foreign Language Certificate. If you're teaching in a private school, you will need this certificate. So you need to search for teaching opportunities in Brazil via this website, Cultura Inglesa. I'm going to put everything in my description. ESL Employment, GoOverseas, Teach English in Brazil, International TEFL Academy, Teach English in Brazil, the TEFL org, Teach English in Brazil. All these things you would be able to, you can also do internships. You can apply for internships to teach English in Brazil. So now let's talk about internships. There are plenty of internship opportunities in Brazil and the thriving cities of Sao Paulo, like it's thriving in Sao Paulo. So Sao Paulo is like a proper popular destination as this is where many of these roles are based. These vary in types from positions in marketing, business to web development and the rest of them like that. So fortunately, many online resources, you will use them for finding internships that are written in English. You can search for opportunities as such at ISEC. I don't know. I think ISEC is also popular in Africa because that time when I was in school, people used to talk about this ISEC a lot. So ISEC.org, you find an internship for Brazil there. Glassdoor, summer interns job in Brazil, you find. GoAbroad.com, GoOverseas, internship in Brazil. All those things, all these websites would allow you to find an internship job here in Brazil. So what is it like to work in Brazil? The working day in Brazil typically runs from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, with an hour unpaid break. Employees average 40 hours per week, and by law, they must not exceed 44 hours. As for annual leave, workers are entitled to 30 days holiday after being in their job for a whole year. Either taking all at once or split into parts, you choose with your employer. There are 8 national holidays per year, including Christmas, New Year, which employees all across the country they must take a day off. On the condition that doing so, it will not jeopardize their job, such as those who work in emergency services, all this bombero, healthcare, and the rest. Bombero in Portuguese is firefighter. In English, rather, healthcare is provided for free by the government through SUS, as we all know, Unified Health System, and the public health programs, are in place to make medications more affordable. So you see that Brazil is a very good country to work in. With all these things I have been saying since morning, you just have to be very specific. You have to follow so many processes. It might seem like a lot of work to you, but you need to take your time. You need to sit down and search for jobs, apply for them from your home or from whatever country you are in right now, and then come and work here. You can come for summer jobs, you can come for internships, you can come to teach English, you can come and work as a blue collar, white collar. You understand? But you need to be skilled. You need to apply for this job from your home country. You need to use this website that I've already attached in this video's description. Search for jobs online there and apply. Drop your CV, speak to your intending employer, and leave the rest for God. I hope this video has been very helpful. It's a long one, but I hope it has been very helpful. If you have more questions about how you can get jobs in Brazil, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Ask questions on my YouTube, my Instagram, and my TikTok and Twitter. I'm not very active on Twitter, guys. Follow me, please. This is my handle, Orelua in Brazil. Orelua, there's no O there in Brazil. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. Today is Carnival. As you can see, I'm ready, I'm dressed. Even if I cannot dance, I'm ready for Carnival today. So thank you guys for watching this video in particular. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see you in Brazil. Ciao.